Today in our society, efforts by our government is complemented by non-governmental organizations in sectors such as health, youth development, education, disaster management, conflict resolution, and others. Join Victoria Effiong as she journeys you through the impacts, the stories and landmark achievements of NGOs in Cross River State. The program, Our World, comes up every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. on Sparkling 92.3 FM Calabar. For inquiries and sponsorship, call 0703-593-9742. Our World, complementing the activities of NGOs. Today in our society, efforts by our government is complemented by non-governmental organizations in sectors such as health, youth development, education, disaster management, conflict resolution, and others. Join Victoria Effiong as she journeys you through the impacts, the stories and landmark achievements of NGOs in Cross River State. The program, Our World, comes up every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. on Sparkling 92.3 FM Calabar. For inquiries and sponsorship, call 0703-593-9742. Our World, complementing the activities of NGOs.
Good afternoon, this is Sparkling 92.3 FM, your radio and your shine, and it's another beautiful Tuesday to be listening to the program. You would agree with me that taxation and budgeting is a very crucial part of a nation's economy in both developed and developing countries. So it is the right of tax-paying citizens to demand fair taxation and also civic participation in tax and budgeting policies. So this will form the vein of our discussion today on the show, as we will play host to Cross River State Tax Justice and Governance platform. So find out everything about taxes today on the show at zero cost. My name is Victoria Effiong and I will be your host. So if you're a first-time listener, I want to say welcome to a platform where we talk about NGOs, topical issues concerning non-profits in our society. And this is the second time, or you're just tuning in again. Thank you for joining us again. The show continues in a bit after this quick break. Stay tuned.
Today in our society, efforts by our government is complemented by non-governmental organizations in sectors such as health, youth development, education, disaster management, conflict resolution, and others. Join Victoria Effiong as she journeys you through the impacts, the stories and landmark achievements of NGOs in Cross River State. The program, Our World, comes up every Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. on Sparkling 92.3 FM Calabar. For inquiries and sponsorship, call 0703-593-9742. Our World, complementing the activities of NGOs.
5 minutes to 1 o'clock, Sparkling 92.3 FM, your radio and your shirt, and the program is Our World. It is time to set the ball rolling. It is time to dig into the business for today. So you know it is business as usual whenever we are on this program. We're here to enlighten you. We are here to inform you and not to entertain you in any way. We're here to inform, educate, and make you to form new opinions. We want you to learn and unlearn on the program. My name is Victoria Effiong. So at the beginning of the show, I told you we will be talking about taxation today. So what do you know about taxation? Or rather, should I say, what is it that you do not know about taxation? What are those issues that really bother you when it comes to taxation? Do you see taxation as something that is really complex, something that you must, have a PhD or a BSc before you understand? Well, this is the program for you. You have to stay tuned. So today on the program, we will be playing host to Cross River State Tax Justice and Governance platform. So I have with me two amazing personalities in the studio. The first person joining the conversation is Comrade Edem, aka Edem Green. Okay, I'm going to ask him what Edem Green means later on the show. He is the national coordinator of Green Code. Now, you know Green Code, Green Concern for Development. They are into the environment. And he is also the state host of Tax Justice and Governance Platform. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, listeners at home.
Okay, so he also came with Barrister Williams Itorok, Senior Programs Officer of JDPC Calabar and State Chairman of Tax Justice. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's begin the conversation now. We said today our focus will be on taxation, everything. We're trying to, simplify it so everyone can understand. So let's start from the beginning. When you say Tax Justice and Governance Platform, let's have a little background information about this organization.
All right, thank you, Vic, and thanks for hosting us today on this program. The Tax Justice and Governance Platform is a network of organizations working on tax justice, essentially making sure that citizens are taxed justly and citizens also pay their tax justly. And then the Tax Justice Platform is in collaboration with the BEMOG, that's the Niger Delta Budget Monitoring Group, and with support from Oxfam. Well, across the states, we have a number of organizations who are working on tax issues, and then again with budget issues, because all these issues are intertwined.
Goes hand by hand.
They're intertwined. Okay. So what we readily do is to make sure that the government, if citizens are taxed, it is just tax to avoid multiple taxation. And also we also encourage citizens to pay taxes, because without the taxes there will be no development. I know that at the end of the day you are going to be asking a number of questions.
Yeah, quite a number of them.
Like I've started now, we are going to be asking a number of questions: how we can hold the government accountable, and why should people even pay taxes, or should people pay taxes at all when they see no development? Is there anything the taxes are used for, and what is the background for taxes? So we are going to answer all those questions, and one of the things we do is that we also try to sensitize people as to the reason for tax and the need to pay taxes. We advocate for people so that persons that are supposed to pay tax are justly taxed.
Well, I love the keyword there, justly taxed. So you must justify where a person has to pay a certain amount of money as taxation. Well, without letting the cat out of the bag, because we want to take it gradually. We just do not want to dump all the information at once so it doesn't get mixed up. Well, let me move to Comrade Edem. I said I'll ask you, aka Edem Green. I mean, we're not digressing from taxation, but I'm just curious by nature.
Yeah, thank you very much, Vicky. It's nice being in your studio today. Green means life, and by green there are different shades of green, so meaning life is in different shades. So for me, that is how I see life.
Oh, that is really interesting. Okay, so thank you for coming today. Let's begin now. Let's talk about people tend to mix up these two terms, taxes and levies. So I would love clarification. What is what is tax? What is levy?
Okay, let me just set the ball rolling, then Barrister will compliment me. Tax by its definition is a compulsory and mandatory payment that is expected from citizens, okay? And it comes in different ways. There are taxes for companies, there are taxes for individuals, there are taxes for corporate organizations, and then there are also taxes for value-added tax. So there are different types of taxes, but they are very, very compulsory for citizens and corporate bodies that are operating in the state.
Okay.
While levies are not that compulsory, but they are, as the name implies, they are based on certain things
certain conditions.
Certain conditions, okay, for the citizens or whoever is being levied to pay for a certain thing. Take for instance, if a
taxi driver.
No, take for instance, for a refuse to be evacuated from the market, then the traders might be asked to pay environmental sanitation levies. So that is not tax.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it depends on what you are actually getting, the value you're getting, just like you mentioned, refuse evacuation. Because I see people say I'm paying taxes, and you ask them to mention what they're actually paying for. You're paying for urban development. You're paying for cleanup. Thank you for bringing light to that. Now let's move to these other aspects. Who are eligible to pay taxes? Or is it that once you're born, you're a citizen of a place, you must pay tax, regardless of if you have a job or not?
Well, you see, who is eligible to pay tax?
Yes.
Now, once you have a means of survival, once you have a means of survival, once you are doing something and earning from it, all right? Now, what we are trying to say, like my comrade here was trying to say, taxes are compulsory payment to the coffers of government based on what you earn.
Yes.
And the profits you make from your businesses. All right? Now, like he has also explained, charges, levies, and toll are based on services rendered. If you render somebody a service, that means you have to pay. You have to pay the charges. You have to pay the levies. You know, when you are in the school, when you are in the secondary school, they say school levies. You understand?
And other charges.
And other charges. School levy. When you look at your receipt, levies and other charges, all right, it is what the service that you are rendered that you pay for. So that's why we keep saying people shouldn't confuse levies, charges, and other kind of payment to tax. Tax is compulsory. Once you have a job to do, once you are doing a business and you are getting profits from your business, you pay your profit tax. You pay taxes from your profit, not from your capital.
Okay.
Yeah, not from your capital. You pay taxes not from your net pay, but from your pay.
Pay as you earn.
You pay as you earn.
Taxable profit.
Taxable profit.
Okay, and then again now, since you've mentioned that, okay, it is being paid to the government, you're earning from this, how does the government keep track of people? Because I might be doing a business, let's say is in a part of town where we don't see the tax people come around, and I've been running that business for 5 years without giving the government a dime. So how does the government keep track of all these legitimate businesses that are supposed to pay taxes?
Okay, let me come in there. The reason why even this program exists today is to also help educate citizens, okay? As citizens, it is our responsibility to pay tax, okay? So now the tax justice and governance platform exists to also educate citizens that it is their right to be serviced by government, and it is also their responsibility to pay tax. Okay, so now if you know it is your responsibility, then you must live up to your responsibility, knowing that you have a duty to play in the development of your society, and the government takes the revenue from taxes to develop the society or to develop the state. Okay, so if you know that, then you should be able to walk up. We have situations, I think, since this I think there was some reform at the federal level, at the Federal Inland Revenue Service, where the tax net was a little bit expanded, and then it made room for people to walk in and pay their tax, get registered and pay tax.
More like a promo. Let's forgive your old debt. Let's pay a certain amount.
Yeah. So that encourages citizens to walk in and pay tax.
All right. On the 21st of May this year, the governor of Cross River State, let's come back home now, Senator Professor Ben Ayade had granted tax exemption to small and medium enterprise. So, what do you think about this?
We disagree as the tax justice platform, we disagree with that exemption. Yeah. Let me say this. There are a lot of consequences when you don't pay the tax. And a greater percentage of persons who are paying this tax are in that category.
Okay, so we have more SMS.
There will be reduction in the government revenue. Secondly, I've said it in other fora that when you exempt a man from taxes, there are other things that are supposed to come to the man as benefits. For instance, you have a child. That small business owner who has a brilliant child who seeks to get a scholarship to study, and now you go to fill the form and they ask you to fill your tax
identification number,
and you are not paying tax
and show proof.
Automatically, that child loses
that opportunity
because nowhere, anywhere is tax exempted for small businesses. What we are advocating for, what we are appealing for, is reduction of those taxes.
Okay, not a total eradication of them.
Let me also come in to help my comrade. Now, let me tell you something. The fact here remains that the government cannot provide employment for all the citizens, okay? And now looking at the workforce at the state government level, the civil servant in the state government level, they are not up to 25,000 workforce in the state. And then you put that side by side with the informal sectors, the people that are the small scale industrialists, okay, the entrepreneurs, okay, and you now see that the numbers outweighs people that are working in government. And now if you look at the revenue that comes from those sectors, then it will help boost the internal revenue. So for us as civil society, one, we have fault that that pronouncement by the government. It does not have legal backing, because you don't just come as a governor to make such pronouncement. So it does not have legal backing. So that kind of pronouncement and cannot stand. That is one. Then two,
yeah, but it's being carried out already.
Huh?
It's being carried out already.
Yeah, it's being carried out.
Businesses have not been paying taxes.
This is one of the major problems with governance in the country, because pronouncements are made by people based on their emotional feelings. And that is not how governance should run. Governance should be participatory. Before such pronouncements should have been made, the governance structure should have done wide consultation with these people to identify what are the major issues and how can we relieve you of this. Rather, we could talk about tax waivers and things like that. I will still come back to that, but let me just focus on this. Now, if you look at a country like Germany, Germany does not have oil. But how do they survive? They survive on taxes paid by small-scale industrialists. Those are the people that drive the economy of Germany. And today, Germany has a lot of resources that they would even send to African countries as aid. So now, in our own case, Cross River State is one of the highly indebted states in the country and has one of the lowest federal allocation from the federal government. So taking that kind of step and pronouncement is not the wise, we don't think is a wise decision for the state. Rather, the government would have gone down to the informal sector to ask them, okay, now people have been crying of too much tax. Businesses have closed down. The fact is not about the tax. The fact is about too much taxation. Like I said, there are a lot of levies.
Too much taxation.
Yes, multiple taxation. Now, and levies. And the harassment, the human rights abuses that follows the people that are in charge of collecting these taxes. So that is what is closing down businesses in Cross River State. You understand? So now, what the government should have done would have been to consult widely to understand what are the tax issues within this informal sector, and then come out with strategies of bringing not just total ban, because these people still pay other things. And you know that it is only tax are paid on profit. Some of these market women, they go to market and then they don't even, someone that...
I know the difference between profit and the capital most times.
You mean?
Most times they find it difficult to differentiate between the profit and the capital because they do not have a bookkeeping system.
Yeah, but they know a woman that goes to the bush market to buy water leaf or fruited pumpkin to come and sell. Okay, she knows this is how much I bought this, and perhaps she bought 10,000 naira. Coming to the market, she already knows that, oh, if I come to the market, I'll be able to sell this pumpkin for like 15,000. She already knows that her 5,000 will be her gain, or 2,000 will be her gain. She already knows without bookkeeping. They know their profit. But most times, now you now say, because by right, if you tax them, it's better you tax them because you'll be taxing them on their profit. So if somebody does not make profit, then that's to say the person automatically is exempted from paying the tax. But you exempt them from tax, which should be based on profit, and then there are other multiple levies they pay, which goes into their capital. So you are automatically killing the business.
Okay, so what you're saying that the position of the Cross River State Tax Justice and Governance Platform is that move is not really in the interest of the state.
Yes, and for the people that it is meant for.
Okay, so since you've decided to point out the problems associated with taxation, let's just toe that line now. The problems with taxation. Why do people find it difficult to pay tax? Is it that they do not want to pay, or they are overpaying? Or people do not have tax education?
Vic, let me explain something. When you said these people haven't the basic knowledge of bookkeeping, that has been taken care of by a tax regime referred to as presumptive tax regime. Now that tax regime presupposes that the small scale business owner is not able to afford an audit firm to come and do their audits and determine their profits. So if you're having a business in Lemna area,
yes,
it's a small, Lemna is considered an urban area. Small businesses, middle businesses. All right. Now when you have small businesses, like you have the tailor shops that I've seen on my way here,
okay,
or like the provision stores, based on how large they are, it can be middle businesses or small businesses. For small businesses, for the year in the presumptive tax regime, it's just 2,500 naira for the whole year.
For the whole year?
Yes, for the whole year.
Okay, what you just said is like an eye opener now, because I'm sure several persons are not aware of this.
That's why we are here.
Okay, so keep going.
Now, if you go to the middle scale business, it will amount to about 3,500 naira for the whole year. It's payable. I mean, already the Board of Internal Revenue has a presumptive tax regime register there. We have tried our best to be able to give it to most self-help associations, like association of
to
sellers,
to give out to their members
and
all that.
To their member, and that's one of the things we do. So we try to build their capacity on this so that when you go to pay your taxes ordinarily, you have 2,500 naira. Even if you have 1,000 naira at the beginning of the year, BIR will collect that money from you. It shows you have the intention of paying your taxes. So there is a platform for people to pay their taxes. It's just that people don't understand. And based on the fact that people don't understand, touts use a lot of things to get this money from people. That is why we keep hearing about multiple taxations. There are people from the local government who have mastered the system of printing their receipts bearing different names of development, gutter development,
acting as consultants,
tax consultants, and the people don't know that there has been cancellation of tax consultants even across the nation. So there are ways we can pay these taxes. That's why we say we seek for just taxation. Because if we inform you about the presumptive tax, if you go to the Board of Internal Revenue now and said you want to pay your presumptive tax, for them, let them come and assess your business. It's between you and them. Say, this is a small scale business, this is a middle scale business, and I'm in the urban area or in the rural area. It depends.
Okay, so Barrister, like we said, information is power. What you just said, this is first of its kind for me to hear that. Now, it means there are a lot of persons out there who are yet to, hear about this. I know you've mentioned giving it to the different associations and all that. Some people have this bandwagon effect because their chairman is not paying. Everybody decides not to pay.
Yeah.
So I feel we need to do more sensitization, work hand in hand with the media. If we can do jingles for immunization, do jingles for different things, why can't we do it for taxation?
We are working towards
So
it.
we need to do something like that. Well, it is Sparkling 92.3 FM, your radio and your shine, and the program you've been listening to for the last 26 minutes is Our World, a program that talks about everything non-profit in the society. So today we brought you Cross River State Tax Justice and Governance Platform, and we've been talking about taxation. We've been trying to tackle those issues that make taxation sound so complex, and we hope you've been able to learn one thing or the other. Definitely we cannot talk about taxation in 30 minutes. There is a lot to talk about, so definitely we have to come back another day and talk about the ones we missed. But just before I go, don't forget I had the opportunity of sharing the studio with Comrade Edem, the National Coordinator of Green Code and State Host of Tax Justice and Governance Platform. So before we go, any final words?
Okay.
Concerning taxation.
Yeah, I'm just trying to encourage the citizens to pay tax. It is only when you pay tax that you can hold government accountable for the money that you have paid, and also hold them accountable for development. Tax should be for development.
All right, thank you very much. And with us also was Barrister William Itorok, Senior Program Officer of JDPC Calabar, State Chairman of Tax Justice. Sir, just before we go, your final words.
Well, we are ever set to sensitize the citizens, and we believe that the government will hearken to our voice to not just exempt but reduce taxes. Thank you.
Okay, so if you want more information concerning taxation, tax justice and governance platform, I believe you should check out their platform online. So just type Cross River State Tax Justice and Governance Platform, and you will definitely find a lot of information, answer those questions that are on your mind. Next week will be another time to bring you Our World on Sparkling 92.3 FM, your radio and your shine. So it might be your NGO will be talking about the next. Whatever it is that is on your mind, don't worry, we will bring it to the front burner and talk about it. My name is Victoria F. Young. Up next will be the Lunch Hour Show. Keep it locked on Sparkling 92.3 FM. Good afternoon.
The radio station everybody listens.
Sparkling 92.3 FM. Calabar, your radio, your shine.